have you?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Artist Reads the Bible. Today we're going to be starting with Numbers 8. 8's not that long. 9 is a little longer, but it ain't too bad. I'll probably do 8 and 9. Not sure. We're going to do at least 8. You know I'm going to do at least a chapter. As usual, got my highlighter, got my decaf Java juice, and I got the living Word of God. We'll get some decaf Java juice. You know, I ain't starting no video without getting some coffee. Well, it was a nice day. It's about 63 degrees. We took a long drive. Just out in the country, just wherever we wanted to go. Probably did 25, 30, 35 miles or whatever, just driving around out in the country, seeing the scenery. It was nice. Put the moon roof up, sunroof, whatever you want to call it. And her phone, we have a compromised music list from Amazon Music, and it syncs up to the car. And we listened to music, had the, like I said, sunroof up, and just drove wherever we wanted to go. And on the way home, I drove up into Newcastle and was like, "What do you want to eat?" She said, "Well, what do you want to eat?" I said, "Well, I'm on a diet, so the choices are Long John Silver, about 4 salmon tacos, which is 880 calories, or Subway oven roasted turkey, foot-long sub pro, which is about 700 calories, or Taco Bell, 5 soft taco supremes, which is about 1,000 calories, somewhere around there, I don't remember, or Arby's. I can have a spicy fish sandwich and 3 turkey sliders, and that's about 900 calories, something like that, I don't know. And that was about it, so she chose Subway, so then we had Subway. Can't really do, I could do Burger King, McDonald's, Hardee's, places like that, but by the time, one hamburger is like 700-800 calories. If you get a double quarter pounder or you get a double Whopper or something like that, you're looking at 800-900,000 calories, which I could have, but it'd be one sandwich. That's it. If I'm gonna have one sandwich, I want a foot-long Subway sandwich. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't know how. I've looked it up, I've researched. I don't know how, because you got, this isn't just a bun. This is like a loaf of bread, man. It's like that big, and it's technically not foot long. It's like 11 inches, I don't know. But anyway, y'all have ate it. It's like a loaf of bread if you eat that whole thing. And then I get the Pro, which is double meat, oven roasted turkey, which, yeah, turkey's not a lot of calories, but when you get Pro, it's double the meat. And then I don't get cheese and I don't get sauce. It's just vegetables, meat, and the bread. But I don't see how it's only 700 calories. Actually, to be honest, it was 590 calories. I added 2 pieces of Velveeta cheese, which is 35 calories a piece, so there were 70. And I have fat-free ranch at home, which is 30 calories for 2 tablespoons, and I added a little bit of that. And I just kind of rounded it off to 700 calories. But it was like 6 something. I don't see how with that much bread. I really don't, because bread is very caloric. I get diet bread and it's still 45 calories a slice. Regular like Wonder Bread, what is it, like 80, 90, 100 calories per slice. So one sandwich, man, you're looking at a couple hundred calories just in bread. and you got this. It's like a loaf of bread, man. I like that freaking thick, man. I don't know. I don't see how they do it, but I don't know. I mean, it's got to be somewhat true. I've had, since I started my diet back up, I've had a couple of them, and I mean, I'm steadily, slowly but surely losing weight. I do 2,000 calories a day or less, and I've been hitting right at that 2,000 calorie mark. But because of exercise, I still lose about anywhere from a quarter to a half a pound a day. But some days stays about the same, but on average about a quarter to a half pound a day, and which is what doctors have told me. My cardiologist didn't want me doing it too fast, hard on my heart. He said he wanted me to lose no more than, he wanted a couple pounds a month, but nah, I don't. I'm doing about a couple pounds a week. So, which is not real fast. It's like 8 to 10 pounds in a month's time. So, good enough. My goal currently, I am at 243. When I had my massive heart attack, I was 265. And I'm going to get down to about 220, and then I'll take a good break from it. And then I'm going to try to push on down to about 200, 210. That's where I'm stopping. They technically want me at like 185, but I'm 6'2". 185, I look like an Ethiopian, man. No offense to Ethiopians, but that's skinny, I think 200 is a good weight. 200, 210-ish, that's a good weight. I might even settle on 220, I want to take some of the strain off my heart. So that's why I'm trying to lose weight. Oh, man. All right, get these spectacles off. Let's get reading. Chapter 8. The Lord said to Moses, "Give Aaron the following instructions. When you set up the 7 lamps in the lampstand, place them so their light shines forward in front of the lampstand." So Aaron did this. He set up the 7 lamps so they reflected their light forward, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The entire lampstand, from its base to its decorative blossoms, was made of beaten gold. It was built according to the exact design the Lord had shown Moses. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Now set the Levites apart from the rest of the people of Israel and make them ceremonially clean. Do this by sprinkling them with the water of purification and have them shave their entire body and wash their clothing. Then they will be ceremonially clean. Have them bring a young bull and a grain offering of choice flour moistened with olive oil, along with a second young bull for a sin offering. Then assemble the whole community of Israel and present the Levites at the entrance of the tabernacle. When you present the Levites before the Lord, the people of Israel must lay their hands on them. Raising his hands, Aaron must then present the Levites to the Lord as a special offering from the people of Israel, thus dedicating them to the Lord's service. Next, the Levites will lay their hands on the heads of the young bulls. Present one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering to the Lord, to purify the Levites and make them right with the Lord. Then have the Levites stand in front of Aaron and his sons and raise your hands and present them as a special offering to the Lord. In this way, you will set the Levites apart from the rest of the people of Israel, and the Levites will belong to me. After this, they may go into the tabernacle to do their work, because you have purified them and presented them as a special offering. Of all the people of Israel, the Levites are reserved for me. I have claimed them for myself, in place of all the firstborn sons of the Israelites. I have taken the Levites as their substitutes. For all the firstborn males among the people of Israel are mine, both of people and of animals. I set them apart for myself on the day I struck down all the firstborn sons of the Egyptians. Yes, I have claimed the Levites in place of all the firstborn sons of Israel. And of all the Israelites, I have assigned the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They will serve in the tabernacle on behalf of the Israelites and make sacrifices to purify the people, so no plague will strike them when they approach the sanctuary. So Moses, Aaron, and the whole community of Israel dedicated the Levites, carefully following all the Lord's instructions to Moses. The Levites purified themselves from sin and washed their clothes, and Aaron lifted them up and presented them to the Lord as a special offering. He then offered a sacrifice to purify them and make them right with the Lord. Oh, excuse me. Nose itching. After that, the Levites went into the tabernacle to perform their duties, assisting Aaron and his sons. So they carried out all the commands that the Lord gave Moses concerning the Levites. The Lord also instructed Moses, "This is the rule that the Levites must follow. They must begin serving in the tabernacle at the age of 25, and they must retire at the age of 50, so 25 years. After retirement, they may assist their fellow Levites by serving as guards at the tabernacle, but they may not officiate in the service. This is how you must assign duties to the Levites." And that's chapter 8. Oh my gosh, I don't know why my nose is itching so bad. Well, yeah, I do know. Because it got warm today. We went out for a drive, had the sunroof up, open, and probably got pollen. I'm surprised my eyes aren't itching and my ears aren't ringing or clogged up, but I never had allergies. Growing up here, I never had a single allergy except for penicillin and sulfa drugs. Went in the Army, lived down south a lot of my life. Never had no allergies. Come back up here, wow, I got allergies. Makes absolutely no sense. I don't know. Anyway, so the Levites were set aside. I had known that the Levites were tabernacle. They're the priest or whatever. I'd forgotten or didn't know, and I'd read the Bible a couple times before, that the Levites were in place of the firstborn sons of Israelites, because God gets firstborn of all animals, he gets first of all crops, and he gets firstborn of all the males. So, is it females too? No, probably just males. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm assuming just males. Because back in them days, I don't think they had women really doing manual labor too much. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. Oh, you can hear my voice is kind of scratchy, raspy. I woke up this morning, boy, I thought I would have caught the flu or something. Felt it in my lungs, my throat. But of course, we got a ceiling fan going. We each got a fan on both sides. I got a fan by my bed. She got a fan by her bed. And, well, we have two separate beds that are pushed together. Mine is she likes more room, so she has a full. I want more length, so I have a twin XL. And I'm going to tell you, with our cat, sometimes I'm sleeping on like that much of the bed. I'm all like this, because that cat just sprawls out. You know, I ain't got the heart to move her. Every now and then, if I can't get back to sleep, I'll grab the corner of the blanket and I'll just stick the blanket with her on it more to the side of my bed so I can spread out a little bit. But oh, she's so hot, man. I hate being hot when I'm asleep. You know, I want my body to kind of be warm, but I want my head cold. That's why I bought cooling pillows, which, by the way, don't work. And not even, I don't care if you pay $200. It ain't going to work. It's going to last for about 5 minutes. Then you're going to flip it over. It's going to last about 5 minutes. Then you're going to flip it back over. And unless you want to flip it every 5 minutes all night long, don't waste your money, because they don't work. It's a scam. And from what I understand, the pillow, from doing research, actually it'll stay cool till it pulls the heat from your head. and then the pillow heats up. That's why you got to flip it over. Then it feels cool till it pulls the heat from your head, and your heat escapes through your head. A lot of people don't know that. If you're out in the winter time, or you're gonna go camping and it's cold, or whatever, keep this covered. That's where all your heat escapes. So if you're trying to stay warm, don't go out there like this. Have some covering on, because all your heat escapes from your head. A lot of people don't know that. But anyway, it's getting better. I don't feel bad. It's just I can still hear it in my voice. So, all right, let's do chapter 9 here. A year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. In the first month of that year, he said, "Tell the Israelites to celebrate the Passover at the prescribed time, at twilight on the 14th day of the first month." I thought I was going to say 14 month. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, we got 12. "Be sure to follow all my decrees and regulations concerning this celebration." So Moses told the people to celebrate the Passover in the wilderness of Sinai as twilight fell on the 14th day of the month. And they celebrated the festival there. Oh, excuse me, that subway's come back up. Just as the Lord had commanded Moses. But some of the men had been ceremonially defiled by touching a dead body, so they could not celebrate the Passover that day. I'll tell you what, I'm glad that we don't have to do this no more. Because when I was growing up, I stayed ceremonially unclean. All the time picking up dead animals and snakes and frogs, and I'd have stayed ceremonially unclean. They came to Moses and Aaron that day and said, "We have become ceremonially unclean by touching a dead body. But why should we be prevented from presenting the Lord's offering at the proper time with the rest of the Israelites?" Moses answered, "Wait here until I have received instructions for you from the Lord." This was the Lord's reply to Moses: "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If any of the people now or in future generations are ceremonially unclean at Passover time because of touching a dead body, or if they are on a journey and cannot be present at the ceremony, they may still celebrate the Lord's Passover. They must offer the Passover sacrifice 1 month later at twilight on the 14th day of the second month. They must eat the Passover lamb at that time with bitter salad greens and bread made without yeast." Bitter salad greens. I bet they're talking about kale. Man, I cannot stand kale. Well, I don't know. There's another green. See, I like greens if they're cooked right. Slow cooked with like bacon grease and bits of bacon and onion and stuff up in there. Then they're really good. But if you cook them fast, you can keep them. They must not leave any of the lamb until the next morning, and they must not break any of its bones. They must follow all the normal regulations concerning the Passover. But those who neglect to celebrate the Passover at the regular time, even though they are ceremonially clean and not away on a trip, will be cut off from the community of Israel. If they fail to present the Lord's offering at the proper time, they will suffer the consequences of their guilt. And if foreigners living among you want to celebrate the Passover to the Lord, they must follow these same decrees and regulations. The same laws apply both to native-born Israelites and to the foreigners living among you. On the day the tabernacle was set up, the cloud covered it. But from evening until morning, the cloud over the tabernacle looked like a pillar of fire. This was the regular pattern. At night, the cloud that covered the tabernacle had the appearance of fire. Whenever the cloud lifted from over the sacred tent, the people of Israel would break camp and follow it. And wherever the cloud settled, the people of Israel would set up camp. In this way, they traveled and camped at the Lord's command whenever he told them to go. Then they remained in their camp as long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle. If the cloud remained over the tabernacle for a long time, the Israelites stayed and performed their duty to the Lord. Sometimes the cloud would stay over the tabernacle for only a few days, so the people would stay for only a few days as the Lord commanded. Then, at the Lord's command, they would break camp and move on. Sometimes the cloud stayed only overnight and lifted the next morning. But day or night, when the cloud lifted, the people broke camp and moved on. Whether the cloud stayed above the tabernacle for 2 days, a month, or a year, the people of Israel stayed in camp and did not move on. But as soon as it lifted, they broke camp and moved on. So they camped or traveled at the Lord's command, and they did whatever the Lord told them through Moses. That's 9. I think I'll stop there. See, that's what I was talking about in previous episodes. You basically, we try today follow all of God's laws, all of God's commandments, His wishes. It's hard. I understood it was hard back then too. Because so much temptation. No matter how hard you try, the devil and his minions are always trying to. Closer you are to doing good and doing what God wants you to do, harder the devil's going to try to pull you back away. Because when you're doing wrong, the devil's going to leave you alone because you're doing what he wants you to do, which is disobey God. But when you get close to God, the devil don't like it. That's what he's going to try to get his little claws in you and pull you back. So, but, back in that time, just right there, it was talking about the pillar, the cloud over the tabernacle. At nighttime it was like fire and this was from God, and they knew it was from God, and they didn't disobey. They didn't move camp until that cloud moved, and with all that direct, visual confirmation of the existence of God, that God is right there with you, and they still disobeyed God. like he said in the Old Testament, numerous places, you're a stiff-necked people. It's, it just baffles me. I mean, I sin all the time. We all do. But if I heard God's voice and he put a cloud over my house and said, as long as that cloud's over your house, you're not going to do this or you're not going to do that, it'd be real easy for me to obey. You would think, because I know God's there. I know God's here everywhere. God's everywhere. God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, everywhere. I know God created everything. Me, just everything around me, the universe, everything. And I know there's going to be a heaven, there's going to be a hell. And you think that would be enough to stay on that straight and narrow, wouldn't you? But like I said, especially in today's society, there's so many temptations. Especially my downfall is electronics. My TVs, my computers, my phones, my tablets, my my VR headsets. Yes, I got more than one. All my electronics. I love them. Technology. But a lot of people would say technology is of the devil. And I'm to a degree, I would have to agree with that. Because I have seen social media pervert and just destroy marriages, relationships, family structures. I've seen the evilness in social media, whether that be YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It doesn't matter. Any social media platform, TikTok, especially TikTok. Oh my Lord, I don't really watch TikTok because I'm going to tell you, I can only watch about 3 little TikTok things on there, and I'm like, Well, I know how dumb politicians get elected now. If this is the people voting for them, but oh, good Lord. That's probably why I have TikTok account from a couple years back, but that's why I don't use it. I don't try to grow it. I don't use it whatsoever because I can't be that dumb. I can't act that dumb. I mean, I tried on YouTube with what I call redneck challenges, baby food challenge, canned food challenge, boiled egg challenge, stuff like that. But, you know, some of the stuff I've seen on TikTok, I'm scared for our future. Just because I know the individuals on TikTok, a lot of them are going to be leading this country, leading the world and stuff. And I'm not going to lie, that scares the living crap out of me. And I see it on Facebook, these younger kids, they can't even spell. I mean, I see memes on Facebook and a quarter of the words are misspelled. The sentence structure is wrong, and it's like, you have no excuse because you have a built-in spell check. It's like, oh my God. It's not just that they're illiterate, uneducated, but they're lazy. And it's like, oh Lord. I don't know. I'm not going to get too much down that. Let's just say TikTok is living proof that evolution is bull crap. Okay. I got to sneeze. Hold on. Excuse me. TikTok, social media, other things like that is living proof that evolution is crap. Because if evolution were in fact true, because I'm going to tell you something, in 1918, whatever it was, third grade or sixth grade test, back then, just standard test in school, was harder than what you see in a lot of colleges today. And you would think that we would have grew from that point to, we'd have flying cars, we'd have, just astronomical advancements in human, whatever, human evolution, if it existed. But what do we have? We can't tell the difference between a boy and a girl anymore. We got what, 56 different genders now? I hate to tell you, there's not 56, there's 2. God made it that way, and your opinion don't matter. But we went from that to this: TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Not knowing the difference between a boy and a girl. A boy wanting to be a girl, winning in a collegiate swimming event because he is biologically stronger, taller. A boy wanted to be a girl competing in an MMA event. Fallon Fox, look it up. Crushed a woman's skull. Cracked it. Because he, and it's still a he, you can be a girl all you want, but your DNA is still that of a man. Can't change that. But this is how I know evolution is crap. My argument used to be, they say, oh, we come from a form of monkey, and I'm like, oh, is that right? So we come from monkeys, apes. So what happened? The rest of the apes, we're all like, hey, come on. We're evolutionizing to this next step in our evolutionary chain of events here. We're going to be superior. Come on. And the monkeys, a lot of the monkeys are like, nah, I'm good. I just live out here in the woods and, stay dumb. That what happened. But now, thanks to TikTok, Facebook, and all that, you liberals are proving my point for me about evolution is crap. Because if evolution were true, human beings would have evolutionized beyond what we were in 1918, over 100 years ago. We are 100-fold dumber than what we were as a human species in 1918. Well, don't get me wrong. There's a few choice individuals in society today that, in my opinion, are just absolute freaking geniuses. Their knowledge and their abilities surpass anything I've ever seen before. But that's a very minute, maybe 1 to 2% of the population. About 80% of the population I look at and I'm like, how do you tie your shoes in the morning? I mean, it has literally got to the point to where I wonder how certain individuals manage to tie their shoes in the morning. That pretty much proves evolution is the advancement of a species, not the de-advancement. According to evolution, we are going in reverse, not forward. See, evolution is forward. A species adapts and overcomes through the chain of events of evolution over hundreds or thousands of years to advance into what it was this is now this. A much better, a much more survivability, enhanced creature, species. So you're going to tell me that humans who third grade took a test that most college kids couldn't even begin to fathom today was common knowledge in third grade back then in like 1918. And you watch TikTok, you see Twitter, you see Facebook. This is the advancement of human beings? Nah. That, folks, is why I know evolution is hoo-ha. Bunch of baloney. Doesn't exist. Now, I do believe that God may have enacted a form of evolution long time ago to, what have you. Because we have gotten to the point, especially with technology, where the computers of the early 50s, 60s, whatever, our phone is 100 times more advanced than the computers I had back then running NASA and, all fit in a little phone now. So we have advanced, especially in the areas of technology, but in the areas of education, in the areas of human capabilities, argue with me, I dare you. Argue with me, I dare you. We have not advanced in those areas. We went backwards, way backwards, like caveman days. And I'd venture to say there was probably a lot of Neanderthals that were, or Cro-Magnon man that were smarter than some of these TikTokers, I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm going to hop off here. Hope y'all got something out of today. I know I did. Till next time, I love each and every one of you. Y'all please, please, please be good to each other. And I'll bring you something again real soon.